hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations. And nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past and the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver, the Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Hurry, big fellow! I'll Silver! Hoy!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto came to the crest of a hill and looked down on a strange scene in the valley.
Oh, Silver, oh, boy, easy. Indians. Tonto, look at all those wigwams.
Me see 'em. Them Cheyenne, Sioux.
At least one band of Sioux. Why are they camped here?
Plenty snow falling. Maybe Indian wait till snow stop.
There's something strange about that camp, Tonto. I can't make out what it is, but
Me have the same feeling. Something strange about camp. Something plenty strange.
Wigwams are all in order. The usual number of dogs about the place. Horses. Tonto, notice the horses.
Them same like all other Indian pony. Nothing different about 'em.
The number of them. So few.
Oh, that's right.
No tracks in the snow to show that anyone has left the camp.
Me see track of 2 horse.
Yes, just 2, heading west. Tonto, General Hancock and a company of the 7th Cavalry is somewhere west of here.
That's right.
Wonder if those 2 Indians are scouting the cavalry. Maybe they're going to try and steal some horses.
We find out?
Yes. The tracks follow the course of the valley. We can ride parallel if we stay on this ridge. That's what we're going to do. Come on, Silver.
Get 'em up, Scout.
The masked man and his faithful Indian companion rode for nearly all the afternoon. Then they saw 2 Indians on ponies following the back trail to the east.
They're the braves we've been following, Tonto. Don't you think so?
That's right.
We'll shove on and see where those redskins went before they turned back. Been altogether too much trouble with the Cheyennes and the Sioux. Maybe Hancock doesn't know they're in the vicinity.
Maybe it's a good idea we warn them.
General Hancock's camp had been hard hit by the snow and the cold. The general had hoped for a meeting with the Indians, but there'd been one delay after another. The horses had to be given double rations of oats in the cold weather. They had to be prodded frequently to keep them moving during the night so they wouldn't freeze. 8 inches of snow around the camp made going hard and the tempers short. When General Hancock was summoned from his tent, he was angry. When he saw the thin little man in the custody of a guard and the huge, bright red circus wagon, he fairly exploded.
Why was I called? What's the matter with the captain and the guard? Who are you? What in the world is that wagon?
It's his, sir.
My name is Tweed.
Tweed? Stop shaking. I'm not going to eat you.
As far as we know, General Hancock, those Redskins haven't any rifles. The boys saw this man heading toward the Indian camp. They thought he might be running firearms.
Oh, no. I'm afraid of Indians. Want no dealing with them.
What's that wagon?
It's mine. It was in a circus. Went broke. I bought it cheap.
Have you examined it?
Yes, sir. It's filled with bottles like this one.
Liquor? Are you selling liquor to Indians?
No. It isn't liquor.
It's labeled Tiger Tonic, sir.
Tiger tonic.
That's all. So help me, sir. That's all. It's my own concoction. Guaranteed to cure what ails you. Cures fever, rheumatism, lumbago, colds in the head.
That's enough.
But I don't want any trouble, sir. I got lost in the storm, that's all. I'm trying to find a settlement. It's said there's a settlement around here.
Due south. It's known as Bridges Gap.
Oh, I'm free to go?
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, no end.
I'm sorry to disturb you, sir. I thought you might want to question him at length.
You made certain he wasn't carrying rifles?
Yes, sir.
Get up! Come on! Get up!
Poor little fella. He was frightened out of a year's growth.
Yes, sir. General Hancock, one of those men is masked.
What next?
I can handle this, sir, if you want to return to your tent.
No, I'll wait. Maybe it's further word from the Indians.
Oh, Silver, steady. General Hancock.
And we are.
Very well, guard. Will you hand this silver bullet to the general?
What's that? A silver bullet?
Yes. General Custer knows me.
Oh, Custer has told me about you. Dismount. I want to talk to you.
Steady, big fella. Thank you, General Hancock.
Come into my tent. Guard, I'll send an orderly to take care of the horses.
Yes, sir.
Is that Indian's name Tonto?
General Custer has told you about us. His name is Tonto.
Me stay at horses.
Oh, yeah, as you choose.
We were in the vicinity, some distance east of here, and we saw a camp of Cheyenne and a few Sioux.
Yes, they broke from a reservation.
We noticed the two of them left the camp heading this way, so we followed the trail. Did they come here?
Yes, I talked to them. They were messengers of news of further delay.
Delay?
Here's my tent. Step inside.
Thank you.
We're trying to get these Indians back to the reservation peaceably. They sent word that they wanted to talk things over, and I agreed. Since then, there have been many delays. First one thing, then another, and then this storm. A little while ago, they sent word that they couldn't meet us until they'd replenished their food supply. They've gone to hunt buffalo from a herd they sighted near their camp.
I see.
If I approach their camp against their instructions, there'll be trouble. I don't want that.
The reason I came here was because I thought those scouts might be plotting to steal your horses. The Indians had surprisingly few horses in proportion to the number of wigwams.
That's odd. Few horses, you say?
Yes.
They had plenty of horses when they left the reservation. Oh, of course, there are few horses. They're hunting the buffalo.
No, they're not. The messengers didn't tell you the truth. There was one heavy snowfall, no more. The Indians had gone hunting. They would be tracked from the camp. None of them, except the two messengers, left camp since the snowfall.
That's food for thought. I wonder if those messengers came here only to study the possibility of stealing rifles.
They have no rifles?
They didn't have. I'm hoping a gun runner doesn't get to them. We're trying to keep a sharp watch and nearly frightened the life out of a little medicine salesman.
We saw a man leave with an old red circus wagon.
His name is Tweed. He has a wagon that used to carry a tiger. Peddles some stuff he calls Tiger Tonic. I sent him to the settlement at Bridges Gap.
Well, that's where Tonto and I are going. We want to see some friends there. Well, we'll be on our way.
Thank you for coming. Those redskins seem to be stalling for time. Lying to do it. I wonder why.
The next morning at Bridges Gap, the wind blew fresh and chill from the west. The sun rose swiftly, exposing a vast expanse of snow-covered valley beyond the stockade. Innumerable wagons, some empty, and some still heavily loaded with lumber and building supplies, were drawn close to the scene of labor. Hammers rang on the crisp air as both men and women pitched in to make a settlement in the wilderness. Sam Bailey, the leader of the settlers, paused in his work as a young woman stepped to his side.
Well, today's the day, Sam. Jim should get back before sundown.
Yeah, that's right, Jane. But don't you be too disappointed if he don't make it. Snow might hold him back some.
Oh, Jim will make it. He said he would.
Well, then I reckon he will. Jim knows his wife and young'un are waiting for him.
Something coming from the north.
Oh, maybe it's Jim.
Come on, we'll go and have a look.
Hey, Sam. What thunder do you call that?
Sam, what? Look at that wagon.
Great day, it looks like a house on wheels and painted red.
Sam, it's a circus wagon.
Coming fast, too. Look at the horses travel.
Well, where's the driver?
Oh, inside. The reins go through that little window, see?
Oh, yes. Well, Sam, it isn't a circus. The wagon has a sign on it. Some kind of Tonic. Tiger tonic, that's it.
I'd let it in, boys, but hold your rifles ready. You don't know what might be inside that rig.
You better stand back a piece, Jane.
All right, train up there.
Scramble out of there and let's see who you are.
Open the door at the rear, Hank.
I'm getting out, gents. Oh, mercy. Please don't point those weapons at me. I mean no harm. I'm just looking...
Look at the size of them. Put the shooting irons down, boys.
The soldier sent me here. Thought you might be interested.
Where'd you come from?
North of here. Name is Tweed. Timothy Tweed, inventor of Tweed's Tiger Tonic. Guaranteed to
Never mind that, Tweed. Answer one question.
Yes, sir?
Where'd you brush with the Indians?
Indians? I saw none, sir. Not a sign of them.
Didn't see them.
You can't see any way but straight ahead from the inside of that wagon.
Yeah, that's so. Look at the sides of your red wagon, Tweed.
Eh?
You come doggone close to Redskins. There's a dozen arrows in the side of the wagon sticking out like quills on a porcupine.
Indians? Arrows? Oh, mercy.
Doggone, the little guy's fainted dead away.
Well, take him to my wagon, boys, and give him some water. He'll be all right.
Come on, Silver. Someone else is coming.
Oh, there they are. One's an Indian.
Grab your rifles, boys.
Hey, Pete, Hank, look. Arrows are coming from the gully at those two horsemen. Hey, look at the arrows. There's Redskins in that gully.
One of those men is mad.
Yes, and I know him. That's the man we met in the trail some time ago. That's the Lone Ranger.
Oh, Silver.
Hadn't attacked yet.
No, but by Ginger, we got one coming. We saw arrows coming from the gully to the north. Arrows headed for you.
Yes, Todd and I saw the Indians. We saw something else.
What's that?
The Indians have already gotten one of your men.
Jim Blaine?
Someone who traveled in the wagon. He was on his way here with building supplies.
That was Jim.
I'm sorry. He put up a gallant fight, a good fight.
Where'd you find him?
Several miles to the north. We buried him. Here are the things he would want saved.
Yeah, I'll take him. Here, Jane, I reckon these are yours.
Oh, thank you. I'm all right. Baby and I'll be all right. Jim had wanted us to be brave.
The poor girl.
How bad does it look?
Well, you'd better finish that last wall of the stockade, Sam. There are a lot of them. You left a reservation. General Hancock and his men are north of here, hoping to make a peaceful settlement. There's one lucky thing. The Indians have no rifles, yet.
Probably that's why they'll attack us, to get rifles. What was that about General Hancock?
The Indians seem to have tricked General Hancock.
Yeah?
They knew the troops would go more than halfway in trying to arrange peace terms, so they made a camp with wigwams, a lot of dogs, and all the women and old men and children. And they stalled for time.
Oh, so that's it, eh? They've got the army waiting to talk peace while the fighting Redskins come down here to clean us out.
Yes.
And that's why there's so few horses in Indian camp, huh?
The Indians have a brilliant leader in Red Fox. He's as crafty and cunning as they come.
And as murderous.
He knows that General Hancock is anxious to talk peace. The general moves his troops from the appointed place of meeting. Then Red Fox will say that the army failed to keep the appointment. He'll disclaim all responsibility for failure to come to terms. On the other hand, as long as the army stays where it is, the savages are fairly safe to attack.
But can't the general send out scouts?
He will.
Well, won't they see if there ain't no braves in the Indian camp?
No, they won't get near enough to see that. If they approach too close to the Indian camp, Red Fox will complain that the army isn't acting in good faith.
We've got to get word to the army.
Yeah, we're going to. Come on, Tonto, and bring Scout.
Ah.
We'll rest and water the horses and lighten our load as much as possible. Take off saddlebags and sugans. Whose wagon is this?
Belongs to a man named Tweed. He sells medicine. Hey, you might put your things in there. They'll be all right.
Thanks.
Sam, the boys are sure kidding Tim Tweed about his oversized wagon.
This is the Lone Ranger, Hank. Stop your laughing about Tweed and lend a hand. There's plenty of trouble coming.
Oh, Sam. Sam, I just come from the west wall.
What's the matter, Pete?
Bledsoe was just shot by an arrow.
Bad?
Oh, you come through. We can see the feathers skulking along the arroyo. They're closing in on all sides.
They are.
The minute anyone shows himself near an opening in the stockade, half a dozen arrows come at him.
Well, I reckon that changes the plans. Now the way out has been cut off. You can't leave here now.
We certainly can't help you by staying here.
Well, it's sure death to leave.
We'll have to change our plans, Sam, but we've got to leave.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. now to continue our story. Pioneers in their partly finished stockade knew it was but a matter of time when the Indians surrounding them would begin the attack. It was already too late for the Lone Ranger and Tonto to attempt a bold dash in the hope of getting past the savage Cheyennes to ride for General Hancock's men. While the masked man and the Indian made plans, Sam Goff approached the men who toiled frantically to get the last section of the stockade finished.
Now I'll heist this timber. Here, boys, give me a hand.
I can help, too.
Well, don't stand in the open, and those critters don't miss a chance. Sam, look out.
Yeah, that was a close one. Arrow struck right into the timber. Ornery critters, if only...
All together, boys. Up she goes. A little more. Jack, heist that end. That does it. That's it. I'll straighten her up and pack the dirt in the hole. You two lash his timber to the next one to it. Want to talk to Sam for a minute. Sam, we're licked before we start. You know that, don't you?
Lone Ranger won't admit it.
Well, I've been watching. Ain't a chance in the world for a horseman to get past those redskins. He'd start shooting arrows the minute he left the stockade. They'd have time to get 100 of them all before he got close to them.
I know it.
And the closer he gets, the more sure they'd be of getting him. He's still figuring on making a dash for it.
Well, he figures to.
It's suicide.
And the Lone Ranger and Tonto have a plan of some sort. I don't know what it is.
Here comes Jane. Why is she dressed for riding?
Oh, poor kid. I reckon she's so broke up about Jim she don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, poor kid.
Jane, where you going?
Sam, I'm going out.
Out where?
I have a plan. I'm going to ride straight toward those Indians. I don't think they'll shoot at me if they see me coming with my hand raised.
Jane, that's suicide.
I'm going to. When I get close to him, I'll suddenly spur my horse, and maybe I can get past. Then I'll ride to General Hancock.
Now, Jane, you're in line with the open section of the stockade. Get to one side.
Look out! Jane. Jane, you're hit.
Yeah, this way. Hey, Doc, come here, fast.
I got the bull cat that fired that arrow.
I'm not hurt badly.
Concerned varmints.
Arrow just grazed my arm. I'm all right, Sam. Don't waste time with me.
Now you know how much chance you'd have against those redskins. They'd shoot anyone they can see. They don't care if it's a man or a woman.
And they'll shoot the Lone Ranger.
Jane, let me see that wound.
It's all right, Doc. I can fix it myself.
Sam, you better go over to the corner where your masked friend is.
What's he doing? He said he and Tonto were going to fix some plan to get past the redskins.
He's doing things to Tweed's wagon. You better go see him.
As the day advanced toward mid-afternoon, there were further occasional arrows from the Indians in hiding. Not many, but enough to show the hopelessness of leaving the stockade on any side.
Put Hank right here on this blanket. He's weak from the surgery that was necessary to get the arrow out of his side. He'll be all right.
Yes, it's getting to be a regular hospital here, huh, Doc?
4 hurts so far. Those red devils are deadly accurate with their arrows.
Good thing they ain't got rifles. It'd be that much worse.
They'll have rifles tomorrow. Our rifles.
It was a little later in the day when Tweed rushed up to Sam Bailey, his long hair flying and his small arms waving.
Now, hold on, Tweed. What's got into you?
I was roused from my sickbed. I went to see my property, my wagon. Everyone's been laughing about it. They're destroying it.
What?
Look there, that masked man, that Indian.
Tweed, that's a Lone Ranger.
If you don't stop him, I will. Look what he's done to me. The bottles all on the ground, the wagon in...
Hey, Peach, take this mosquito away.
Right. Come here, Shorty.
Oh, let me down. Let me down, I
Put him down, Pete. Tweed, I'd have asked your permission to do this if you'd been around. You're going to be our only hope of saving all these lives.
What?
If we don't come through, you'll never need this wagon. If we do, you'll get it back and have plenty of help in repairing it.
What in thunder are you doing?
This wagon, Sam, is our war machine. We built a ramp in the back of it instead of the doors that were there.
For what?
Scales and Silver will be inside the wagon with Tonto and me. The Indian arrows can't touch them or us. There's a good slope from the east wall of the stockade and no bad gullies. The wagon will coast, gathering speed until it's beyond the line of Indians.
Well, you can't steer it.
The wheels are lashed. We'll roll in a straight line. Bring up the horses, Tonto.
The rear of the high-sided wagon was hinged so it could be dropped to form a ramp. Scout and Silver followed Tonto up this and stood clumping impatiently for action.
Now, we'll try our best, Sam. Now, I'll get on the wagon. Get some men to start us rolling. Once outside the gate, we'll coast.
Should I lift this rear section to you?
Please.
Here you are. Sure is heavy.
Thanks. Has to be heavy to stop those arrows.
Come on, boys. Give a shove and get this juggernaut to rolling.
Come on, boys. Get it moving. Come on,
shove.
Come on. Come on, boys.
Get that gate open. Here comes the Lone Ranger set to ride for the soldiers or kingdom come.
Keep her rolling.
them axles are well greased. And now she's going on her own.
One last shove. Come on up. There she goes. Look.
The creaking wagon was a red fort on wheels that gathered speed with every yard. The Lone Ranger and Tonto kept one hand on their nervous horses while they peered through the cracks between the boards.
Steady, Silver. It's all right, big fellow. It's a new experience for you, isn't it?
Shrill barks and yips of surprise came from the savages. Their arrows struck like hail against the board.
We're almost on them, Tonto.
Indian run to side. Get out of the way.
Hang on. There's a shallow ditch. Watch out for Scout.
Me got him. Steady, Scout. Steady, fella.
We're past the ditch. Indians are back of us now.
Some Indian run for horse.
They can't reach their horses in time. We're going to make it, Tonto. Get ready to drop the ramp.
Me ready?
There's the boy. Now hold it till I give the word. I'll apply the brakes and then we'll drop it.
Meet the Indian off the left. Come in and reach horse now. Mount up.
Drop the ramp. That's it.
Indian, come now.
Come on, Silver. Now you can travel.
Me got Scout. Be ready now.
Then show those redskins some dust. Steady, big fella. Come on, Silver.
Get off, Scout.
Hail, Silver! Hoy!
Boys, they made it. They got past the redskins. The Lone Ranger is riding for help.
After the thrilling escape of the Lone Ranger, the pioneers inside the stockade settled to watchful waiting. The afternoon waned and the sun sank out of sight. Night came, and with it, darkness that enabled the Indians to sneak in close while the nerves of the guards were tense.
Sam, what was that?
Same as before, Jane. Guards are firing at anything. Half the time, it's just their imagination.
Oh, the Indians will close in on us.
Yeah, they're doing it this minute, Jane. But they're keeping hid.
Do you think the Lone Ranger will make it in time?
Yeah, the last we saw of him, he was sure traveling fast.
But he might have been wounded. Tonto was well. They might have fallen before they reached General Hancock.
All we can do, Jane, is wait and hope. And fight when there's something to fight.
I have Jim's gun. I'll fight with the rest.
Your arm bothering you much?
No, not very much. Sam,
Huh?
quiet. I thought I heard something.
Where?
Just beyond the stockade. Right beyond this part of it.
Can't see through here. The timbers are set too close. What did it sound like?
Just a soft crunching. Like something walking on snow.
The guard should be able to see if any of the redskins come close.
Hey, Sam. Loomis was just found.
Loomis?
Guard in this section had a knife in his heart. Those critters can skulk close without more noise than his shadow. I'll take Loomis's place.
Sam, Pete!
Battering ram, right there. Jane, get away from here.
I'll fire and fight with any of you.
Those timbers won't hold.
Well, maybe this'll stop him.
Stop it, Pete. Your bullets won't go through these timbers.
But that battering ram will.
Watch the corner. They're scaling the outside.
Some of you boys come over here. They're coming through with the battering ram.
Oh, there goes the wall.
Let them have it. There, I got one.
And there goes another.
Here, loaded guns.
Pour it on them.
Hold on, boys. Hold it. Save your shots. We got them all.
Oh.
We got those that held the battering ram. Now get back away from where they busted down the stockade. There'll be a plenty others to fire at anyone they see.
I guess they got the redskins over yonder, too.
Yeah, they did. But the critters got 3 poles against the stockade before they were wiped out. Those Cheyennes are plenty smart. Do you see what they're doing?
What?
Well, they sent squads forward ahead of the mob, suicide squads. Their job is to put the poles in place and bust a hole in the stockade. Now the way is clear for the others.
Here they come. Riding ponies.
This is it, boys. Jane, you go over the women and kids. Stay with your young one.
All right, Sam. I will.
Make them fight for what they get, boys.
The savages charged forward. While some poured through the opening, others scrambled up the poles and dropped inside the stockade with tomahawks and war clubs swinging wildly. The first to reach the gate swung them open wide to admit other savages on horseback. The fighting after the first skirmish was hand to hand. Bitter fighting where no quarter was given, no quarter asked. Men fell wounded and rose to fight again. The pioneers knew the end could not be long delayed. The Indians were everywhere, swarming over wagons and piles of supplies. The looting would come when the last pioneer was dead. But then, above the din of battle, came the sound of a bugle. An army bugle sounding the attack. Hard-riding cattlemen who were skilled in the war on savages raced to the fray. A ringing cry rose up above the thunder of hoofs.
Fight, boys! Now we'll get help! The Lone Rangers come with the army!
Troopers dashed in with the cold steel of their sabers flashing. Retreat for the Indians was cut off. Now there had to be unconditional surrender or death.
My men will clear the stockade before they leave.
By Ginger, General Hancock, we sure would have been done for if you hadn't arrived when you did.
I'm quite sure that now, when we take our prisoners back to their people, we'll have a few strong bargaining points when we discuss terms of peace. Where's that masked man?
Yeah, there he is, getting ready to ride away.
We won't be needed here. We want to bring back a big red wagon we borrowed.
The government in Washington will hear of the way you helped us prevent a massacre.
Oh, that's not necessary.
If those Indians had secured firearms from those pioneers, hundreds of people in other settlements would have died.
General, there stands a man who must be thanked. Timothy Tweed.
What's that? You mean me? That's my name.
Yes, Tweed. You inspired a new kind of war machine. Ready, Tonto?
Get him up, Scout!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
You've been listening to the OTR Gold Network. Find more classic radio at otrgold.com.